Hey guys, and welcome back. So it's time for the next little mini project here on the Yamaha YXZ1000R. So anyway, I'm installing these fender flares right here. They're from powersports. It's one of the kits you can get for this. I like this one more because it was more worried about stopping the mud from getting back here and in the front. So that was one of the main reasons I went with this kit versus some of the versus the factory Yamaha one or something like that. And you'll see more what I'm talking about in the front. So this one basically just fills in this space right here and prevents mud from getting on stuff that's in this area. I've already done the other side, if you see it there. So I've already mounted it here. I did a trail test and there was a significant amount of mud differences on each side. So the tools you're going to need is a 4mm Allen, Phillips screwdriver, 10mm, and a 1/4 inch drill. Also, I put some Loctite on these two bolts on each side. They're the two that replace the factory ones that go right there. Then the other one, and then of course one of their plastic washers. So the first step is going to be removing these original bolts right here. They just simply remove. You can see these have some of that mud Loctite. That red clay, it's really great stuff for that. So now the fender is loose. We won't be reusing those. So the next step is you're going to get the fender ready. I've noticed that this one in particular needs a little bend at the end right here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of that. Then I'm going to test fit it. It slides in under this and then up here above this. So it's kind of an act to get it all in here. Also, of course, this top edge is rolled in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of that on this piece here. Makes it a whole lot easier. These are pretty flexible, so don't worry about breaking them. So you're going to use the bolt holes here, the original ones, to line this piece up. It's usually easiest to get this inside one first. So I'm going to go ahead and put one in here. Okay, so I've gotten that bolt lined up here now. So I'm going to put that one in, since it's going to go in reasonably well. There we go. So I'm going to take that down until it's pretty much snug there. Make sure all the rest of this is kind of where we want it. Go ahead and do this bolt now. So I'm going to tighten these two down together, making sure all this is in here again, back like we want it. About right there. I'll go ahead and tighten it down. So there's this other hole that we're going to have to drill, so you want to kind of center it in the line here of this piece. I'll go ahead and tighten these up. Center my washer up there a little better. There we go. So that part's done. So the last piece here, we need to just drill this third one. So you're going to use the piece that's under here. Hopefully you can see that. And you want to make sure you kind of get it lined up there with the fender. Center it up. It's a 1/4 inch drill. There we go. Pretty well centered there. On this one, you're going to use two washers, one on either side, and the 10mm nut there. Just like that. So make sure all the stuff under here is like I wanted it. Try to snug that up more. So overall, I think they look pretty good. Really add some character to the back here and some protection to keep the mud just off the back of things here. I hope you enjoyed that part of it, and let's go ahead and move to the front, because this was definitely the easy part. The front, they're much harder to put on the other side. So let's go ahead and move there now. Okay, so like I said, I already installed this side here. And I went out and tested it with one on this side and one not on that side. There was definitely a significant difference here on the front. It really helped deflect the mud, this area right here. Some of the negatives I noticed is that once out on the trail, it did hit the wheel when I bottomed it pretty hard. But other than that, but I don't see any mark from it or anything. There's just like a little feel mark under it there where it hit. But overall, completely worth it. So very happy with that. So let's go ahead and get started installing the other side. So the first step is going to be kind of getting it bent into place, because it's not really straight, or it comes in a flat pack, so you got to kind of get it bent into shape there if you see that, because it's got a lot of curve right here. Of course, this one goes on the other side. So the hardest bend is right here. So let's go ahead and help that one out a lot there. There we are. So that's a lot better. Then it's got another bend that's right here that needs to be emphasized. This one's gonna be pretty hard. And then it bends back on this crease. So kind of like that. There we go. And here on the end, it also has a bit of bend in it. Okay, let's check it out. So it basically goes right here just like this. It kind of sits right under like that. And there's no guide holes on this one, so it's a whole lot more tricky. But the things to look for is you need to make sure there's no gap right here, if you look right there. So make sure that gap goes away. And this corner right here needs to be pressed up tightly as possible into that. So it matches that corner right here. So kind of like that. There it is, right there is where it goes. The first one is a little bit scary. You just gotta kind of go for it. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay guys, well, we're committed now. So I'm gonna go ahead and snug this one bolt down a little bit so I can start putting in the rest. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this one here next on the inside. Make sure here, this is when it's important to make sure that crack's not showing right there. So just push it right in as little as possible. Then we're gonna come in here and drill the hole. So at this step, I'm gonna go ahead and just put that one in next. Okay, so now we're gonna do one of these front ones here. Okay, then you get one more here in the front, a little further forward. This is a little tricky to get to, but okay. So now we'll do the ones back here in the side back. Well, unfortunately I lost a lot of footage there from the main camera, but hopefully you get some of it here. So you want to set the angle of this piece kind of so it pushes up into there. Like I said, I'll give it a little more of a cup shape here if it wants to have. Now it's kind of on there. You can kind of push it around a little more. There we go. So this top one's the one that kind of sets everything here, so you want to get it in. Now we'll go ahead and do this very bottom one to kind of set the angle and just make sure I keep it in kind of in line with it. Okay guys, so they're installed. I hope you enjoyed that and I hope you like the way they look. You may also notice that I've gotten the winch bumper mounted. I installed that. It's really just 4 bolts to install the front bumper. From the stock one, it's super easy. Just 2 on each side, 2 there and 2 there. The winch itself, this is one of these cheap 5,500 pound Walmart winches, the Hyper Tough. I mean, I got it on sale for 160 bucks, and for a 50-foot synthetic winch for 160 bucks, it's kind of hard to go wrong with. I'll let you know how it goes long term, but it already helped me out on the hill because I didn't want to hurt my clutches, and so I went ahead and just used the winch, and it worked great. So I'm super happy with it. I mounted, of course, the main winch right there. The solenoid is right about there. There's plenty of open space in there, and the wires just simply go up the roll bar. And then I put the plug in for the handle right inside the glove box there, so that all kind of stays clean, and the handles, or the switch, whatever you want to call it, the remote, is all right there in the glove box. So that all works pretty well. Then the main battery cables go down to the battery, which of course is in the center console there. So you just have to pull that up and run the wires through it. It's really pretty easy. Also, unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera because I had to get it done. But I've got the top on now. This is the Yamaha plastic hardtop. Super happy with it. I was out on Hot Mountain last weekend. It kept us nice and cool. Other things I want to do to it, I probably want to get a stereo in there at the top, one of those top bar stereos. And probably going to do a windshield, and then probably the side covers and that kind of stuff as the weather gets colder. Also, I hope you follow along. We're going to do the first service to it at 200 miles. I'm about 70 miles now on it, so that'll be coming up pretty soon, so we'll do all of that. And also, of course, when I inevitably blow the clutches out of it, we'll be doing that. So if you guys are liking the side-by-side series, let me know. I hope you're enjoying it. But anyway, also big thanks for helping me get to 3,000 subscribers. This is a big deal personally for me. I really appreciate it, guys. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe, help it keep the channel growing, and like for more.